Imagine, amidst a sea of purple lights and the cheers of thousands of armies, Jungkook suddenly did something that left everyone speechless. It wasn't his choreography, nor was it his flawless vocals. It was a small object he took out of his finger. Yes, a ring. And when the camera panned to it, the engraving on the inside was clearly visible, the letter J. In that instant, the entire stadium erupted. Everyone wondered, what did it mean? Who was it for? Why did Jungkook look so emotional as he stared at the ring? The stage lights flickered softly amidst the screams of thousands of armies that night. Jungkook stood in the center, sweat dripping down his face, his breathing heavy, but his smile unwavering, the smile that always managed to warm and flutter the hearts of anyone who saw it. No one could have imagined that night would be such a memorable moment. The moment Jungkook suddenly took the ring out of his finger. At first, everyone thought it was just a small gesture, perhaps adjusting his costume or cleaning his hands. But then the venue's large cameras focused on the ring, and it was clearly visible on the giant screen, the letter J engraved on its inside. Instantly, the entire stadium erupted. Army screamed, cried, and some were even speechless. J, one simple letter, but for BTS fans, especially those who had followed Jungkook's journey for years, it was no ordinary letter. Many immediately associated it with various things. Jungkook himself, Jimin, Jin, even Taeyong, whose initials are often associated with Jungkook. But that night, it wasn't about who the letter was for. It was about a feeling so genuine, so real, and felt in every expression on Jungkook's face. He stared at the ring for a long time, as if remembering something. The lights dimmed, and Still With You began to play. His voice trembled softly, and in that moment, all ARMY knew Jungkook was opening his heart, not just to them, but to himself. The ring with the letter J seemed like a symbol. It symbolizes his long journey, from a shy 15-year-old boy upon his debut, to a grown man who's learned to love the world, his fans, and perhaps someone very important in his life. And when he smiled faintly as he stared at the ring before slipping it back onto his finger, many felt as if Jungkook were saying without words, "I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. And I know you're still with me, too." The moment was captured in thousands of fancam videos that instantly went viral on social media. Many wrote emotional captions like, "The letter J isn't just a name, but a promise," or "He knows we're all watching, but he still proudly shows off the ring." Some armies in attendance even said they could see Jungkook's eyes welling up with tears as he held the ring. Perhaps it was from longing, perhaps from emotion. But what was certain was that it wasn't a deliberate act for the stage. It was spontaneous, honest, and meaningful. One thing that made this moment even more profound was that Jungkook isn't known for publicly displaying sentimental things. But this time he did. And it made everything feel more personal, more real, more human. After the concert, social media was flooded with theories, analyses, and slow-motion videos of Jungkook taking off and putting back the ring. The J was elegantly carved into the inner side, as if hidden from the world but revealed only once, on a night he would never forget. Was that J for himself? A reminder of who he was and how his life journey shaped him? Or perhaps it was the letter of someone who meant so much to him. It all remains a mystery, but that's precisely the beauty of it. Because the deepest love and meaning often needs no explanation. That night, as Jungkook stood on stage with the purple lights flashing across the arena and the ring gleaming on his finger once again, the world seemed to stop for a moment. ARMY cried, smiled, and embraced a feeling that was hard to explain. A mix of pride, longing, and a love that never faded. Now, every time Still With You comes on, many fans remember that moment. The ring with the letter J, the serene smile, and the look that spoke louder than 1,000 words. Jungkook may not have explained anything, but one thing is for sure. That ring wasn't just an accessory. It was a memory. And perhaps it was also a symbol of a journey of love, whether for one person or for all who have loved him since the beginning. On stage, Jungkook closed the concert with a tender, heart-melting line. "Thank you for being with me until now. I'll keep going." And that's when we all realized, yes, it was true, here we were. With Jungkook in every laugh, every song, and every meaningful little moment, including that one little ring with the letter J on it that we'll always cherish. ARMY in the front row saw it first. Some immediately let out a soft scream, and then the entire stadium seemed to echo as everyone realized something had just happened. Jungkook looked at the ring with a soft gaze, as if he were talking to himself, or perhaps to someone very important. Many tried to interpret the meaning of the letter J. Was it for Jungkook? Was it the initial of someone he cared about? Or perhaps it represented a promise, a journey, the long journey he had traveled from adolescence to now a man standing firmly on the world's grand stages? But that night wasn't about mysteries or theories. It was about real emotion, about Jungkook pausing for a moment in the middle of the stage, not because he was tired, but because he wanted to fully experience the moment. He looked out at the audience and smiled. It was a gentle smile, like a wordless thank you. "Thank you for always being with me," his eyes seemed to say. Then the song, "Still With You," began to play. The first notes rang out, and thousands of purple light sticks lit up simultaneously, like a sea of stars moving to the beat. Jungkook's voice was soft, almost trembling in the opening verse, bringing tears to many ARMY's eyes. "That I can see you, the day that I'll meet you again." The lyrics felt different that night, especially when Jungkook stared at the ring on his finger as he sang that line. Instantly, many believed that the ring wasn't just an accessory. It was something he carried with his heart, something that held memories, love, and maybe someone's name. Some fans noticed how Jungkook seemed to hold his breath during the bridge of the song. His hand gripped the mic tightly, while the ring still glistened under the lights. It was as if every word he sang wasn't just lyrics, but a prayer. And when the song ended, the stadium erupted. "Jungkook! Jungkook! Jungkook!" The cheers didn't stop even after the music ended. But Jungkook just smiled, bowed slightly, and then said quietly, "You know, sometimes the little things can mean a lot when they come from the heart." It was a simple sentence, but it was enough to silence everyone. Some ARMYs even screamed, "We love you," from the top row, and Jungkook looked up at them, pointing to the ring on his finger. Then some ARMYs are starting to remember an old moment, when Jungkook was seen wearing a similar ring in one of his vlogs years ago. Back then, no one noticed the details. But now, it's like all the puzzle pieces are coming together.